I'm Jay Kinder, and I'm the co-founder of the National Association of Expert Advisors. I'm really excited that you're going to be joining us on the upcoming webinar on how to exponentially grow your business. There's no question you'll be able to see how the exponential growth strategy can take you from 10 or 20 or 30 transactions to well over 100, 200, 300 transactions. It can take you from 40 or 50 or 60,000 in income to well over 500,000, $1 million, $2 million in gross commission income. I know that sounds crazy, but this can be done in as little as a year or 2 years. And we're going to be sharing that with you on the upcoming webinar. So I'm very excited that you're going to be joining us. One thing that we've learned over the years, see, my business partner, Michael Reese, and I, we both own real estate businesses. We've both been very fortunate and very successful in our real estate businesses, both selling well over $1 million in gross commission incomes in two completely separate markets. And we decided we wanted to help real estate agents do the same thing about 10 years ago. And we've learned one thing that's critical to being successful in the business. So imagine if you were going to be building a house. You wouldn't just take the blueprint and just start randomly nailing boards together. You would start with the foundation. And the foundation for exponential growth is the most important thing. Out of all the agents that we've helped become successful in implementing the strategy we're going to be sharing with you, there's just one thing that matters most, and that is this foundation for exponential growth. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take you, we're here at my house right now, I'm going to take you up to NAEA headquarters, and I'm going to break down for you the 6 principles to exponential growth, the 6 success principles that are going to determine whether everything we share with you on this webinar is going to work for you or not work for you. So I'm really excited. This is something that absolutely must be in place in your business if you want to have success and if you want to accelerate growth in your business. And I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. So let's go for a little walk here, and we'll hop in the car and we'll head up to NAEA. All right, so we're on the road. We're headed up to NAEA, and I'm going to break down for you those foundational, the foundation to exponential growth. So before we do, or I guess while we're on the way, I want to share with you a little bit about how I got into real estate and kind of the path that I took to success, which it definitely wasn't an easy one. I think I got my real estate license when I was 19 years old. My dad was actually in real estate, and my first year, I think I sold, I remember I made like $20,000, which was actually a lot of money to me at the time. I didn't really have a lot of large goals at the time. I remember my dad made me fill out a goal sheet for working at Coldwell Banker at the time, and my 5-year goal was $35,000. So I wasn't very ambitious, and I didn't really know what was possible in real estate. And I was fortunate that after making many mistakes and investing in a lot of things that didn't work, you try a lot of different things. I worked with REO properties and wasted a lot of time doing BPOs. I mailed a bunch of letters, did a bunch of direct mail stuff, and I spent probably all of everything I made the first 5 years. And it was tough. It was tough to make a living, but I felt like there had to be a way to be successful. So one of the things that I'm going to share with you in the foundation to success was I just continued to seek and try to find a better way to sell real estate. There was people that were being successful, and it wasn't me, and I just wanted to learn how to do it. And I was fortunate that after about 3 years, I started to figure it out, and I finally built my business. By the time I was 27 years old, I sold 531 homes in 1 year, which is pretty unbelievable still to this day. I had about 15% market share in the market I was in. It was a little town of Lawton, Oklahoma. And I wasn't even the #1 agent in town. Now, there's an agent there that continues to beat me in my business that does like 800 deals. So it's not like I had it easy and I was the only guy there selling real estate. There's actually a team there that was doing more business than me. And I met my friend and business partner, Michael Reese, who's also from Lawton, was actually in Dallas, Texas. And one day he called me wanting to know what I was doing to be so successful in real estate. And I didn't know what I was doing to be successful at the time, but he kept asking questions and asking questions, and it it forced me to say, don't do this, do that, don't do this, do that. And he actually built his business to well over $1 million in 3 years, where it took me like 6 years to do it, because I made a lot of mistakes, and probably like you've made a lot of mistakes along the way. He got to not have to make those mistakes, so he benefited from that. And once we kind of both had businesses doing well over $1 million in income, we decided, you know what, hey, we're really good at this. We could probably help other people do it. And we really enjoyed helping real estate agents grow their business. It was actually more fulfilling than anything we'd ever done. And as we shared with like-minded individuals the things that are working and helped grow people's business, we had a tremendous number of success stories of people that we've been fortunate enough to help. And that's really how the exponential growth strategy and what we call the expert advisor business model was created. And the sad thing about that story is like, oh great, you were really successful, you sold 531 homes, you must have been really happy. And the reality was I wasn't really happy. I was selling 531 homes, but I was working harder than I'd ever worked. I was working 14-hour days, 7 days a week. I wasn't getting to go to my kids' games. I was chasing business like many agents have to chase business. I had to chase business in order to survive. My business model wasn't a proven business model, and I'd followed the wrong business model. And I built this big business that was taking more of my time, more of my effort, more of my energy, and it was really sucking the life out of me. I weighed more than I'd ever weighed. I was out of shape. I was unhappy. I got a divorce. I mean, every bad thing you can imagine. You would think, oh well, you were successful, but it wasn't. It wasn't successful. And I can tell you, selling 531 homes doesn't mean you're successful. Having a business that profits and delivers to you the quality of life that you want, not what anyone else wants for you, but what you want, is what really matters. And that's why we created the exponential growth strategy. And I want to introduce you to a few of our friends that we've had the benefit and the pleasure of helping implement this in your business. And what we're going to share with you on the webinar is exactly the business model that we put in place for these agents who coached with us over the last, say, 5 years. And we're going to show you exactly how they implemented it in their business. But rather than me tell their story, why don't I just introduce them to you?
We wouldn't be where we're at today or on this stage talking to you if it wasn't for the coaching and taking that leap forward, knowing that we had no structure, we had no direction, we had no vision, we had no goals or culture. And that definitely has changed not only our business, but our personal lives as well. So 2012, we had 45 transactions. 2013, we had 70 transactions. We joined NAEA in August of 2013. 2014, the full year with coaching, we went to 170 transactions, and this year we'll close out at 250. So for me, my passion has changed, where I'm passionate about our team members and what their personal success is, what their family life is, where they want to go, where their goals are, and it allows us to help them get where they want to go. And for me, if I can help more people get where they want to go, I've accomplished.
In 2010 through 2012, we had somewhere around 15 to 18 closings each year. And in 2013, we had our biggest year ever at 23 closings. And then 2014 came, and we had 13 closings. Like Brent Gove said, we were desperate. In fact, we were pretty close to one of us getting out of the business and going back to corporate America. Didn't want to do that, and we signed up for coaching with NAEA starting in November of last year, and we're projected to have 70 closings this year, an increase of 376% in sales and almost 250% in GCI.
With us, it's just the two of us. We don't have a team yet, but I think that's the next thing that we are looking into. But we've had a personal goal for 4 years of adopting a child. And we went through 7 failed adoptions, and that's a lot of money. But with everything that NAEA was able to do for us and help us, we were able to adopt a baby girl this year. Thank you. She's 5 months old. Naomi Brown is her name. So.
Isn't she beautiful?
It's been a fun ride since I've joined the coaching program. I'm living a lifestyle that I didn't think I'd be able to live. It's been fun to watch a girl that used to work as a paralegal at a law firm make $30,000 a year, and then this year who's my head buyer's agent, she'll make over $200K. So it's really fun to watch them grow. And if I would not have joined the coaching program, I would not have near the lifestyle that I have now, and wouldn't be able to help the people that I've helped. And it's been so fun to watch the team grow. I didn't have my license 5 years ago. I got my license 3 years ago. Year one, I did 39 deals, and that was before I got into coaching. And then I got into coaching right at about 2 years ago, and I jumped from 39 to 114. And then this year our goal was to either gross $1 million or do 200 transactions. And we've got the opportunity to hit 200, but we will gross $1 million. Since I've joined coaching, it's really just changed my life. My lifestyle's changed. Just implementing the systems.
How so?
Well, you think doing 200 deals, I'm running around like crazy, and I've gotten to that through the systems that we've implemented, and also I'm only working really, truly 4 days a week now, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then Thursday, I'll spend the day kind of working on my business. I never work weekends anymore. And there's no way I'd be in the position I am now without the systems and the coaching that's gotten me there.
So systems?
Definitely the systems. How to hire, who to hire, when to hire. That's one thing. It's really just kept me from bumping my head along the way and spending money in places that I shouldn't be spending it and making wrong hires. Mm-hmm. The coaching's kind of taken me to, okay, now you're at this position, that you're doing this many deals, y'all have this much volume, okay, now it's time to hire this next person. That's been really key for me.
All right, well, those are just a few of the stories, of the hundreds of stories we could share with you of agents that are just like you and literally applied the exponential growth strategy and put it in place in their business and had unbelievable results. Obviously, they're very inspiring stories, and hopefully you're excited and you're ready to go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pull into NAEA headquarters, and I'm going to go inside and we're going to break down those foundational pillars that you have to have in place. These are the principles that must be in place in order for the exponential growth strategy to work for you and your business. And we'll do that, and then you'll be ready and prepared for the webinar. All right, we're ready to get started. Okay, well, here we are, the 6 success secrets to exponential growth. This is literally the foundation of success in my book. I'm going to share with you here over the next about 20 minutes. I'm going to share with you what we found to be the foundation for the most successful, not just successful with implementing the exponential growth strategy, which we'll cover on the webinar, but the most successful people I've ever met in my life, and the people that you want to surround yourself with, and that you're just in utter awe of in terms of what they've been able to accomplish. So these are the foundational elements that we're going to talk about that you have to have in place if you want to be successful. These things are the things you have to have in place. And I'll break down for you just real quickly what we're going to cover on this particular the slideshow, if you will, here. Mindset. We're going to talk a little bit about mindset. We're going to talk about modeling success, what that should look like for you. We're going to talk about having big goals that matter. and how to do that, why that's important. We're going to talk about the environment, the people that you surround yourself with. We're going to talk about strategy, about how to do the right things in the right order. And then we're going to talk about productivity, one of my favorite topics, which will help you to understand what you have to do in order to get the most out of every day, take back control of your life, and not have to work 14, 15-hour days, 7 days a week, and get more results out of less time. So that's what we're going to be covering here today. And, first thing I want you to understand before we get started is that there's only one definition of success, and that's your definition of success. I'm not here to tell you what your goals should be. I'm not here to tell you what you should accomplish or shouldn't accomplish in your lifetime. But what I am here to do is to stimulate thought and help you to think about what your goals are, maybe a little bit differently, and maybe with a little bit more passion than you may have in the past. And I'm going to show you how to do that and how to get real clear about this. There's basically 5 areas that you'll want to focus on when it comes down to determining what success looks like for yourself, and that's business, financial, relationship-wise, whether that's a spouse or friends or family, health, and contribution, giving back. So those are the areas that you're going to want to define what success looks like for yourself, not just today, tomorrow, this year, but 10 years from now. What do you want? What does success look like for you 10 years from now? And I challenge you to think about that in a very deep way, because 10 years goes by before you even know it. Maybe you've been in the business longer than 10 years. I've been in the business now and approaching 20 years in the business, and the gray hairs are starting to show from that. But it's a long time, and if you don't get clear on where you want to be 10 years from now, then the odds that you're going to ever get there are very, very slim. So we want to get clear on what those things are for you as far as your business goes, your personal financial goals, because I see a lot of people out there coaching people how to sell a bunch more real estate, but they don't ever talk about how to become more financially wealthy with your real estate business. And the reason why we do this isn't just to have something to do every day. It's to create personal wealth and to create personal freedom, and the ability to invest more with our relationships and stay in good health and contribute more to society. So it's just part of the overall picture is understanding, hey, this is where I want to be 10 years from now. This is why it's important to me. So you need to determine what those things are. I can't do that for you. So how to get the most out of this training. Like I said, this should be no more than 20, 25 minutes. I do occasionally go a little bit longer than that. So what I'm going to ask for you to do is play full out. Be engaged, be present from beginning to end. Take handwritten notes. So, don't be multitasking and just listen to this passively. Stay engaged with me. I promise you'll get more out of it if you do. And lastly is take off your filter. So I want to explain what that means just real quickly. As soon as I showed you probably the first 6 things that we're going to talk about, you probably immediately already kind of had a filter up as to, I already know this or I know that. And that's really pretty easy to do. And a filter, and this is just what I want you to think about as you're listening, because your ability to remove this filter in conversation and in any situation that you're in, whether it's a listing appointment or a conversation with the spouse or with your broker or with anyone for that matter, understanding that life occurs to us in a certain way. We hear things through a filter, and that filter is generally a filter of our experience, our beliefs, maybe the way we've been brought up, or whatever the case may be. So this filter that we currently hear things through, it removes some of what is actually being said, and it kind of reinterprets it the way that we think it's being said, or the way it occurs to us is the way I would describe that. One of the most valuable things I've ever learned is to understand that no matter what the situation is, no matter what I think I know, no matter what it is that I'm engaging myself in, if I'm going to be engaged, is to remove the filter that is the learner-judger mindset dilemma. And I'll explain what that is. A book by Marilee Adams, Change Your Questions, Change Your Life, breaks down this in the book, and it's the learner mindset versus the judger mindset. Naturally, we are all judger mindset, at every situation, and it's nothing's wrong with you for being this way. This is the way we're all born, and this is just the way things occur to us. Is generally we're in judger mindset all the time. You've probably been judging me all along already, and that's okay, because that's natural. What's critically important though is to be able to see yourself is when you're in judger mindset and to shift and change to learner mindset. The goal is to always be in learner mindset. Let me tell you what the outcome is if you're able to do this. If you're able to do this, I'll give you an example. As I went through and just recorded this entire presentation, I accidentally deleted it at the end. Now, it would have been really easy for me to have asked the questions, oh my God, why am I so stupid? Or why am I such a failure? Or why did I even bother doing this in the first place? Now I got to do it all over again. I could have been judger in the judger mindset and placing blame. And, what a waste of my time, blah, 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 blah. Right? So that would have been easy for me to do and stay frustrated. Now, the outcome would be I wouldn't be sitting here recording it again and doing it with much more enthusiasm and much more passion than I did the first time anyways, and making it better had I not had this mistake that I made. So instead of being in judger mindset, my choice, because it's a choice, we always have a choice of what mindset to be in, is my choice was to be in a learner mindset. Okay, what did I learn from this? What are my choices? What's best to do now? What's possible? I found extra time in my calendar. I'm very meticulous about my time. So the fact that I wasted an hour, I didn't know if I was going to have another hour, but there was another hour. I made another hour happen, got it done. And these are just the questions that are on this choice map as we're looking at it. But the difference in the outcome is either I got this recorded and done and executed, and it's going to be something that adds tremendous value to your life, or I could have been in judger mindset and then gone a whole nother path and maybe never done this, and maybe this whole project never got completed, and you wouldn't be sitting here listening. So the outcome that you're looking for, always be aware that in every situation you're either in judger or learner mindset. Learner mindset is where you want to spend your life. Is what am I responsible for? What assumptions can I make? What can I learn from this? What could I do differently? What could I do now? Those are the kind of questions that you want to be asking. And what am I learning here is one that I ask a lot, because in most situations I'm learning something and I need to be paying attention to that, especially painful situations. Like, what did I learn today? I learned about ScreenFlow and what button not to push whenever you're done with webinars. So I'm learning as I go. So just a choice. Again, just remember it's a choice. So I just wanted to cover that. Next thing, critically important. This is the curse of knowledge. You probably have already felt this way, so I'm going to say it and get it out of the way. The curse of knowledge. I've been through so many of these courses and read so many books, hundreds and hundreds of books at this point, and I don't even read fast. Most of them on Audible. But it's thinking that you know it all, yet you're doing nothing with it. And this really struck a chord with me whenever I came across these three little questions, was because I've sat through Tony Robbins multiple times. I've sat through so many different events and thought, man, I already know all this. And I realized, the curse of knowledge is accurate. Is the question that you should be asking yourself as you go through this. And I want you to do this. I want you to stay engaged with me from beginning to end. I'm going to move fast. It's going to be a lot of content. It's going to be very valuable to you, I promise. But I want you to ask this question. Am I doing it? Have I mastered it? And would my results prove that I've mastered it? Okay, so if that's the case, if your results prove that you've mastered it, fine, you're great. I think most all of us are going to go through this process, and the question of am I doing it consistently? Have I mastered it? Would my results prove that I've mastered it? The case is going to be, we still have more to learn and grow in this world, and to stay engaged and try to pay attention to where am I falling off? What am I not doing here? Why am I not having the success? Why have I not mastered this? Why am I not doing this? Why am I not getting the results? Because I thought I was doing this, but I'm not. Maybe I'm not getting those results. So just be thinking about that, because it's going to put everything in the right context for you to be a learner and the learner mindset as you go through this process with me. All right, so my question to you is, what is keeping you from achieving your goals, living your dreams, and fulfilling your purpose? And here's what my belief is. My belief is that if you had absolute clarity on what to do, what things to do in what order, and you had a burning desire to accomplish it, and you believed you could accomplish it, that nothing would stop you. Nothing could keep you every single day from working on those things that if you knew these are the right things in the right order, you had a burning desire to accomplish your goals, and you believed you could do it, you knew you could do it, that you would never stop. Nothing could stop you. You would be accomplishing everything that you ever wanted in your life if you knew those things. So think about that. So that's super powerful. My goal for you by the end of not just this training, but the webinar that you signed up for, the exponential growth strategy, is to give you absolute clarity on what to do in what order and create that burning desire for you to want to accomplish that goal and show you that you can do it. And it's possible that you can accomplish that goal and have a strong belief in that. And I believe you're going to be unstoppable in accomplishing your goals, whatever your goals may be. So that's my goal for you. We're going to start with mindset. This is one topic that if you were to sit me and my business partner Michael Reese in a room, we could probably talk all day about just this one thing, mindset, and how powerful and how strong mindset is. And we live in a creative world, and what I mean by that is there's the creative world and there's the reported world. And the creative world is the world that we create for ourselves. I'll give you an example. Me and Michael were just in Hawaii. He was visiting for the very first time that he's been back since he was 11 years old. He lived in Hawaii. We went by his house, first couple houses he ever lived in Hawaii. And on the way back, we literally had moved the flight up, and we got to the airport early. It was a sold-out flight. 3 people told us that there was no way we were getting on that flight. And Mike, he was smiling from ear to ear. And I said, "What are you smiling about?" He said, "Man, I'm just glad we live in a creative world and not a reported world." What he meant by that was, I'm about to get us on this plane. And so he goes and he checks in. There was one person on standby, and sure enough, there was 2 additional spots that would have worked for both of us. I ended up taking the later flight home because I didn't want to ride in the seat that I was going to have to ride in, and it was only going to get me home 3 hours earlier. It was an overnight flight. It just wasn't worth it to me. Mike was anxious to get home. He took the flight home, but he created that. He created that by not just accepting the reporter world is you can't get on the plane. The creative world is I'm getting on the plane. And he created that situation by just never giving up on this is what I want, this is what I'm going to try to accomplish, and I'm just going to keep going until I get there. And he created that. It would have never happened if that had been the case. If it was the reporter world, it would have just said, "Oh, well, sorry, we just got to go on this flight. That's just the way it is." But I just have a tremendous amount of respect for that, and I want everyone to understand how much of this world is created. It's created. We make it what we want it to be. And that's what a lot of that, what I'm going to share with you about mindset has to do with is you live in a creative world, man. Create it whatever you want it to be, baby. It's all yours. So the essence of growth is the essence of success is growth. So I just want to make this real clear. I don't care what your goals are in terms of success. I really don't. You can have whatever goals. It could be as big or small as you want. I'm going to encourage you to make big goals, big, huge goals. But no matter what, the essence of success is growth, continuously growing, continuously getting better every single day. That's what success is. In my mind, in my world, that's what success is. How do I just get better every day? If I get a little bit better every single day, where am I going to be a year from now? Where am I going to be 10 years from now? You're going to be phenomenal. So just focusing on just getting a little bit better every day, man. It's not going to happen overnight, but just consistently getting better. I'm going to give you the formula for growth. This was shared to me by a gentleman I had a tremendous amount of respect for, one of my mentors, and we've added a little bit to it because there was something missing in the beginning, and that's awareness. And anytime you want to grow in any area of your life, this is the formula for growth. You can call it the formula for change. You're going to want to write this down because you'll refer to this many, many times in the next 10 years of your life, I promise. Is understanding that you have to have an awareness. First of all, you have to have an awareness that it could be better. For me, I sat in my real estate office and I saw that Tom was selling, I don't remember what it was at the time. He was probably selling 6 or 8 houses a month. And there was an awareness. It was very clear to me. His name was at the top of the board. He was top sales. He was on the board outside of the Coldwell Banker where my dad's office was. And that there was an awareness, a very clear awareness to me that it could be done. You could do better than I was doing in real estate. I was aware. So once you have an awareness, then you have to have the desire. And you wouldn't be here if you didn't have that desire. You wouldn't be listening to me right now if you didn't have that desire. You wouldn't have signed up for the webinar if you didn't have that desire. So if you want to change something in your life, if you want to change anything in your life, you have that awareness, you know you can do better, then you have the desire that you want to get better. Then you seek, which is what you've done to find yourself here on this webinar with me, is you're seeking. You're looking, hey man, what are all the ways I can get better? Where is it? Where's that secret formula? Where is the place that I can plug into and I can learn and grow and get better and overcome this obstacle? You're seeking. You've probably read multiple books. You've probably been on multiple webinars in your life, but you're here for a reason, because you're seeking. You're looking for that answer. The next question is ask, and this is where the judge or learner mindset comes into play, and it becomes critical. You ask the question, and you maybe this would be a good example. I know I've had this situation where you decide you want to get in shape. You maybe let yourself go a little bit. You hadn't been working out, and summer's rolling around. You're like, man, it's time for me to get back in shape. Let me go buy a few books. You download a few things online and different workout plans. And you're like, oh, I don't like this one. Nope, I don't like. Definitely don't want to do that one. But, are you asking the right question? Is this, are you asking the right question? When it comes down to getting in shape, hey, well, I want to follow, I want to follow a plan that doesn't have me eat and have to eat right, or I still want to continue to drink and have my drinks at dinner, or I really don't want to exercise, so I'm not this, I'm looking for something where I don't have to do that. Well, maybe you're not asking the right questions. The right question that you have to be asking is, hey, what are all the ways that I can get better in this area? And you got to be willing to receive whatever information is. Maybe you're going to have to stop drinking at dinner. Maybe you're going to have to exercise. Maybe you're going to have to do those things in order to get the result you're looking for. But you got to ask the right question if you want to get the result that you're looking for. You got to be willing to ask the right question, and then more importantly, you got to receive the answer when it's being given to you. So when you're reading that book and it's telling you these are the things you're going to have to do, you can't just cross it off the list and say, well, I don't like this book because it told me I got to do that. You got to be willing to receive the information that's given to you. So, taking that filter off, like I mentioned before, taking the filter off, having that learner mindset, asking the right question, being willing to receive that, and then take immediate massive action. I can't say it enough. The most important thing that's going to determine your success is your ability to take immediate massive action. I don't care what it is you're doing, what it is you're trying to accomplish. You start right now. You don't start tomorrow. You don't start, you wait to the end of this webinar and you start right now. If you do that, you're going to get results. I guarantee it. There's no way you can't get results. If you take action immediately from the moment that you learn something, oh, this is what I need to do, boom, I'm going to start working out today. I might start running right now around my office. That's what you got to do. If you want to get results in this life, you have to take immediate massive action, because the millisecond that you wait to do something that's when the self-doubt comes in. That's when the talk comes, starts talking to you about not doing something, not taking action. Well, I can't afford it, or I can't make this investment, or I can't keep up this kind of a workout. It doesn't matter anyways. All those things that are going to keep you from being successful, that's what you avoid by taking immediate massive action. You just shut that voice up in your head and you just take immediate action. Next one is persistence. This is critical. If you get this far and you took action and you still didn't get the result you're looking for, man, the one thing that you could have only done better is just consistency. Persist, continue on and on and on. Never give up. You don't go to the gym one time and hope you're going to be in shape. You continuously do it. Change something. If you want to change something in your life, change something you do daily. Persist daily. Persist daily. The last one is accountability. I can't speak enough about this one. I know my good friend and business partner, Michael Reese, I can count on him for one thing for sure, is the minute that I stop working out, I'm going to get a picture from him in the morning or a phone call from him in the morning about his workout, or a video of him talking to me about, hey man, just finished my workout. Want to make sure you're getting yours in. You just don't, you can't put a price on accountability, because when it comes to the people that you surround yourself with, that are willing to hold you accountable because they know those are your goals, that care enough about you to hold you accountable, man, I take accountability as care. Accountability is just caring. Somebody in your life that cares enough about you to say, hey, man, you said you want to get in shape. Get your ass to the gym. Let's go. That's somebody who cares about you. That's how I see it. I don't know how you see it. You can choose to see it how you want to see it. But it's about accountability. Accountability is about caring and loving someone enough to tell them, hey, man, you said this is what you want. This is what I want to see you take in action. Let's go. So that's an important part of the process. That's the formula for growth. Everything you talk about, I don't care what it is, from now on, everything that you ever do, you either pass or fail at, run it through this filter, find out where you fell off, and then figure out what you got to do differently next time. Where did you fall off? Think about it. Think about the last time you tried to get in shape. Think about the last thing that you may have not been successful with, or whatever the case may be. But take 100% accountability and make zero excuses. This is the next step in the whole process. When it comes to mindset, let me tell you what, 100% accountability, 100% personal accountability.
Zero excuses. Guess what? It's on you. There's no one else. You can't blame it on somebody else. You can't blame it on the weather. You can't blame it on, your car didn't start. You can't blame it on, well, this was a crappy lead. Or you can't blame it on, oh well, they just didn't, I didn't speak their language well enough. You can blame it on whatever you want, but say it's 100-0. You want to know what a good relationship is? This is Darren Hardy. It's in his book, The Compound Effect. I highly recommend you read Darren Hardy's book. He's the publisher of Success Magazine. He's a good friend of ours, and he's a mentor of ours. And, he talks about 100-0. And, in a relationship, what do we think is fair? Well, shouldn't it be 50-50? Nope. Not if you want to have a successful relationship. It's 100-0. You take all the responsibility. It's 100% on you in order to make the relationship successful. And how you do that is you ask the right questions. What could I have done differently? What could I do differently? How could I have gotten better? What do I need to do? What am I learning from this? It's asking those right questions. But in your life, the people that have been successful, I promise you this, the people that have been successful, the people that I see that have the accelerated growth that we've showed you as far as the exponential growth strategy, the people that do are the ones that 100-0, take 100% accountability and make zero excuses. They don't blame it on anyone else. They're not pointing their fingers at anybody. They know it's 100% on them, and they're accountable to themselves personally. So that's a huge deal. So the never-ending commitment to personal development, 100-0 mentality. These are some questions that you can ask that will help you tremendously in situations. If you've ever been upset, mad, pissed off, didn't accomplish something you wanted to accomplish, somebody leaves you, whether it's a relationship or somebody quits working for you or an agent. Here I got one for you. This one may resonate too. Have you ever had a buyer that bought from somebody else and they didn't say anything to you, and you call them up trying to follow up and they bought a house from someone else? That's happened to all of us if you've been in real estate very long. Hopefully it doesn't ever happen to you if it hasn't. But here's the question. The real easy thing today is, why didn't they call me? Why didn't they just buy from me? Why didn't they let me know? Oh, all these things, right? Well, maybe you told them, maybe you didn't. Well, what could you have done differently? Think about that for a second. What could you have done differently? Could you have reached out to them sooner? Could you have scheduled an appointment for earlier in the week? Could you have made sure they signed a buyer brokerage agreement? Man, when you ask that question, what could I have done differently? Think about it. It doesn't matter when you ask the question, your brain, you're going to get the answer that you asked the question for. So when it comes down to that judge your learner mindset, what could I have done differently is a great question. It's a great question. You're only going to come up with answers that are going to help you see what you could have done to avoid that. Because guess what? 100-0, baby. All you can do is what you can in control of. If you're in control of personal accountability, you're in control of what you could have done differently. You don't have control over what they did. You don't have any control over that. What could you have done differently? When you start looking at life this way, when you start looking at the things that are in front of you every single day with 100-0, what could I have done differently? What am I learning here? What do I choose? That's the mindset of success. You can accomplish anything in the world. And guess what? The best part about it is you never get pissed off. You never get let down. You never have expectations that aren't met. You know why? Because you take 100% accountability in every situation. It feels good. I can't get pissed off. You can't piss me off. You know why? Because I take 100% accountability to the situation and how I respond instead of react. Now, that ain't how I always used to be, but that's how I am today. And I'm telling you, man, it's a lot better life to live when you're 100% accountable, and then you take 100% of it on you. You see what you could have done better, and you grow from that situation. Now, don't get me wrong. There's going to be some stuff that gets under your skin. There's going to be some stuff that just sets you off. But being aware of this, being aware that you're in 100% in control, you cannot be upset. You cannot be mad. You cannot be in a situation where you're not personally growing and learning from something when you adopt this mindset. Okay? Mindset's the most important thing. If you don't adopt this mindset, you might as well give up. You might as well quit right now. There's no reason. You can't get there. You have to adopt this mindset. If you want to be successful in life, period, you have to adopt this mindset. It's the most important thing. And it's not hard. It's really not. It's just a choice. You just got to consistently work at it, ask those right questions, pay attention to when you have a filter on, rip that filter off, hear the things that are being said, ask better questions, and take 100% accountability for yourself and everything else around you. 100%. That's it. All right. So this is what my belief. My belief is every life form strives to be at their maximum potential, right? So let's have you ever heard of an oak tree, for instance, not growing to its potential? You ever see a tree? Hey, man, that tree only grew half the height that it possibly could. No, it didn't. It grew all the way to its full potential, as high as it could go, as far in the sky as it could reach, as possible is how tall an oak tree is going to grow. So then why is it that us as human beings, we don't live to our full potential? We don't ever really reach our full potential. Most human beings, 90% of human beings don't ever, probably 95%, maybe even closer to 99%, never reach their full potential. Why is that? It's because we've been given the power of choice. It's a choice. Tree doesn't have a choice. Tree doesn't make a choice. Well, I'm going to just grow half as tall as I could be. But we do. As human beings, we have the ability to choose if we're going to live to our full potential or not. And here's the choice, guys. This is real simple. You can either choose to be part of what you could be and grow to part of your potential, or you can decide that, hey, I'm going to make a choice to become all of what I could be. I'm going to become the best version of me that I could possibly be. I'm going to live life to its fullest. And here's the thing. My advice to you is to be all that you can be. Grow as big as you could possibly grow. Grow yourself. Personally grow as much as you possibly can. Let me tell you, it's a great life to live. You can earn. I want you to earn all the money you can. I want you to make as many friends as you can. I want you to read as many books as you can. Develop all of the skills that you can. I want you to see as much as is possible. I want you to do as much as possible. I want you to make as much of a fortune as possible. And I want you to give as much of it away as possible. Because that's living a fulfilled life. It's living a life worth living. And it's funny. I look at this like all the skills that develop all the skills that you can. It's funny because I used to say, you know what, it doesn't make any sense for me to do this kind of work or that kind of work if I can hire someone to do it. And today it's like, you know what, I just want to rip apart the motor in my truck and take it apart and see if I can work on it. And I want to learn how to do it. I don't know why, but you know what, that's a skill that I never would have thought that would have been useful for me. But now this is a hobby. I just want to learn how to work on motors just because I like to go fast. I mean, it's a skill. I'm going to learn that skill. It's not because I need money. I don't need money. That's not what I need anymore. What I want to do is I want to learn and grow. And it's another area that I'm going to learn and grow in. So, I'm not that, I am that old. I'm getting old, but I've been in the business nearly 20 years, and I don't have to go out and sell another house tomorrow. And I'm fortunate, but that's been a choice that I made myself, and I think you should make for yourself as well. You work until you don't have to, and then you find things that you want to do that are fulfilling for yourself, and learn any skill that you want to learn. Another thing I want to do is I'm going to learn how to play the guitar. I got a lot of years left in my life to do it, and by God, I'm going to learn how to play the guitar. So, there's a ton of things that that you can do in your life, and you should have in your life, and you should experience in your life. And starting today, my hope for you is that you see the light, you see the opportunity that, hey man, I'm not living up to my potential. I could be doing a whole lot more than this. I'm tired of waking up like a zombie every day and going into work and bitching and complaining about where I'm at. I'm gonna reach for the top. I'm gonna be the best that I can possibly be. You don't have to be the best in the world. You just have to be the best version of you that you could possibly be, and that's what it comes down to. So being the best version of you every day, just grow a little bit more, learn a little bit more, get a little bit better. Always focusing on growth and getting better. So, who do I have? Here's the question you got to ask. Who do I have to become in order to accomplish my goals? Once you determine what your goals are, where you want to be, and I'm saying set some high goals. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. Who do you have to become? Who do you have to become? That's the real question. Success has nothing to do with what you attract. It has to do with who you become. Who do you have to become in order to and have the things that you want to have in your life? Thought and actions are the jailers of fate. And good thoughts and actions can never produce bad results, just like bad thoughts and actions can never produce good results. So, this is to say that if you plant corn, you're going to get corn. Simple as that. So you want to plant good thoughts, not bad thoughts. If you catch yourself saying negative thoughts or negative things, or I can't do it because of this, or I can't do it because of that, there's no example that you can give me that I can't show you someone that's just like you that accomplished what you want and more. I'll show you. I can show you somebody 400 pounds that did it. I can show you somebody who lived in their car, had 4 kids, and was unmarried that did it. I can show you anybody, any situation, uneducated, educated, doesn't matter what it is, and I can show you they've accomplished it. But it starts up here in your mind. It starts up here with the thoughts that you have. Your thoughts lead to action, and that's what you have to understand. Wishes and prayers are only answered when they're aligned with accurate thought and action. Whatever it is you want to accomplish in your life, you can accomplish, but only if you accompany it with accurate thought and action, disciplined action towards the goals that you want. So let me ask you a question. I'm just going to prove it to you. So do you believe that thoughts lead to the way you feel? Now you say, I have a certain thought. I think, man, I think this deal's going to fall apart, man. Today, I don't want this deal to fall apart, but I'm afraid it's going to. Oh, gosh, man, I know this seller's just going to be pissed when they see this report. They're going to back out. Oh, I'm sick about it. Do you believe that if you felt that way, it might lead to different actions? Okay, so, oh man, yeah, you call the seller, man, I know you're going to back out, but I feel really terrible about this, but we have to do these repairs. I know you're not going to do it. Do you think that's going to get a different result? Do you think that those actions that you may take are a little different than if you approached it with with a positive mindset, maybe a little different attitude on the phone, that you might get a different result? My point is real simple. It's this, is that if you believe all that's true, that your thoughts lead to how you feel leads to the way you act, and how you act leads to your results, then it's real simple. Your thoughts lead to your results. It's real simple. Your thoughts lead to your results. You better be careful how you're thinking. Pay attention to your thoughts because they're telling your future. The second thing I want to talk about in the foundation to success. Now, these are the six foundational elements of the most successful people I've ever met in my life, the most successful people that have ever made it through the exponential growth strategy and had the monumental, accelerated growth, doubling and doubling and doubling of their businesses, is modeling success. And I want you to think about this for just a moment. Who should you look for in a mentor? I find this, one of the saddest things that I've seen, and I fell victim to this as well, was, not knowing that, I felt like following anybody that was selling me anything, or that, that was, moderately successful at some point in their life, that I can learn from them and I should model them. And that's not necessarily true. You want to know, when you're looking at mentoring, you want to know who's their mentors. Who do they mentor with? Who do they invest their time with? Are they still growing? Are they still out there growing and learning? Have they accomplished what you would like to accomplish? Have they ever even accomplished what your goals are? What experiences or failures have they been through? Let me tell you, that's huge importance. If they haven't failed or had experiences along the way that they've been through, did they learn some lessons that they can share with you? Do they have experience in your field of business? Are they actively still involved in your field of business? Are they still doing what you do every day? Have they successfully mentored others from where you are currently to success? Have they ever found someone where you're at in your life, helped them accomplish the goal that you have? Do they have a proven process, a repeatable system, or do they just wing it? Do they profit on just, or do they focus on you being profitable and having personal goals and personal wealth goals, or do they only focus on the business and you selling more homes and more units? Do they bring with them any strategic relationships or other benefits? Are they willing to push back and hold you accountable and challenge you and challenge the way you think about things? These are all things that we look for in a mentor. I'm sharing with you a list of things I wish I would have had earlier on, with many mentors that aren't on this list that would not make this list. But these are some of the people that we model and we spend our time with. Tony Robbins, Darren Hardy, Success Magazine, Howard Brinton, the late great Howard Brinton, Barbara Corcoran, Frank Kern, internet marketer extraordinaire, Marcus Lemonis from CNBC's The Prophet, Clayton Mask, he's the CEO of a billion-dollar company, Infusionsoft, one of our very close mentors. Jay Abraham, we spent more time with Mr. Abraham than probably almost anybody, and invested more money with him as well. The reason we spent so much time with Jay is because he changes the way you think about your business, and he's been a really had a huge impact on us. And I say us, that's Michael Reese. Obviously, if you haven't met him, you will. Co-founder of NAEA along with myself. And that's Jay Abraham actually interviewing us on stage. Stefan Swanepoel, one of the industry's greats, at one of our events, NAEA events, interviewing us on stage. And have we had success? Sure, yeah. We've been 5 years in a row now on the Inc. 5000 fastest growing independent companies in America. So not only are we successful in real estate with our real estate businesses, we're also successful in our business of helping real estate agents be success. And do we have proof that we've done it? Absolutely. That's the proof. That's just a small stage at one of our events of our successful agents that have gone through the exponential growth strategy, executed, and are living a better life because of it. So we're committed to that. We've proven what we're doing is working, and that's important. If you're going to be modeling someone, you want to know that that they've done it, that they're doing it, they're continuing to do it, and that they can do it for you and your situation as well. So when it comes to modeling success, I don't care if you choose us or not. Choose whoever you feel likes better. If you wouldn't trade places with them, I don't think you should model success with them. If you wouldn't trade places with the person that you're investing your money and your time with, then you got to question, well, is this the right person for me to be investing my time and money with? And to know that, you got to get to know a little bit about who they are, why they exist, what's important to them, and what they live their life doing, and where they spend their time. So if that's not aligned with what your goals are, you got to really question that. So the third thing that we're going to talk about is big goals that matter. Man, I can't tell you how important this is, and I didn't know how important it was when I first started. But until you can articulate what you want your future to look like, the future that is driving your life, you cannot make a choice to go in a different direction. Until you know where you want to be 10 years from now, you can't take one step in the direction of obtaining that goal. That's how important goal setting is. It's not just about setting this year's goal, this month's goal, today's goal. It's about knowing, hey, here's where I want to be 10 years from now. And you can't possibly know what you have to do in order to accomplish that goal. It needs to be that big. It's like putting a man on the moon. Man, shoot, I don't know. Kennedy didn't know how we were putting a man on the moon. They didn't know. They just knew that if that's the goal 10 years from now, we could start working towards getting to that goal. And they did accomplish the goal, obviously. And the importance of that is, man, when you put a big goal out there like that, and then you look at, well, what do we need to do in the next 3 to 5 years? We need to be here. Okay, well, what do I need to do this year? Okay, getting real clear on what some annual priorities are, then backing that down to, well, what do I got to do right now? If I want to get there, what do I got to do right now? So, getting clear on that financial goal for yourself, for your family. I can tell you right now, as I'm looking into the screen, I can see the wrinkles in my forehead, and that's coming from age. And that age is coming from years and years and years of doing what I'm doing in real estate without having a plan to, if you'd ask me, I can tell you this, I'd still be doing what I'm doing. This is probably my perfect day in terms of like what I would do all day, every day, is coaching, training, helping people accomplish their goals. There's nothing more fulfilling than this for me. But when I first got my license, if you would have said 10 years from now, where do you want to be financially? Even though I accomplished a tremendous amount in 10 years, I did not know where I wanted to be and what I was creating for myself and what I was, where I was going. And 10 years goes by really fast. I'm about on my second round of 10 years. Thank goodness I got clear. So it's critically important that you get, you set big goals. You're meant to be all that you can be, accomplish anything and everything in the world. That's what you're meant to do. And, I like the story of Columbus because it's the craziest thing you've ever thought about. Think about this. Think about back when Columbus was thinking of the new world. He believed there was a new world that he was going to discover. And he got ships full of people going across the ocean where they don't know where the heck they're going. But hey, he believed so much so that he was going to discover land that had never been discovered before. What did he do? He discovered it. He discovered it. How amazing is that story when you think about it? Man, that was crazy. He's nuts. He was off his rocker. You know how many people told him he couldn't do it? Probably thousands of people, probably everybody. How many people how many people said no that got on those ships with him? How many people said no before he got anybody to get on there with him and go, on this, this amazing journey that had no proof whatsoever that there was going to be anything at the end of it. And, that's the kind of goals you got to set for yourself. You got to set big goals that you maybe thought, man, this is crazy. But I guarantee you this, given 10 years, you can do anything. You're going to underestimate what you can accomplish in 10 years. And dream big, dream big dreams, man. You're not a mouse. You're not a mouse. you want to have big goals, big dreams, not something that doesn't motivate you every day, not something that you wake up every day going, I don't care. I'm not even going to bother enough to write this down, much less do something towards the goal. You got to set big goals, so goals so big that you're like, man, I'm going to do everything I can to get that. That's what I want. This is inspires me to get up every day, work my ass off, work through all the challenges and trouble and things I'm going to have to learn and grow through, and the pain that I'm going to have to go through to accomplish my goals. I'm willing to do it for this. And you have to have that kind of a goal, or you're never going to work through it. It's not going to be, if you don't have big enough goals and big enough dreams as to what you want to accomplish and why you want to accomplish them, it will not be enough to pull you through the times when it's tough. And there will be tough times. There will be tough times. Guaranteed. No doubt about it. But hey, guess what? You're going to grow right through them because you're personally accountable, and that's what you do. If you want to accomplish your goals, you just got to work right through it. Simple as that. So, dreams are the seedlings of reality, man. Whatever you can dream, it's just the seedling of reality. Now you just go make it happen. 10x goals. Another thing, this, part of this piece, in terms of goals, I just took it right out of, I think it was 10x Rule by Grant Cardone. It was one of the books, and man, I just like the way that guy goes after it. Man, he gets after it every single day, and set 10x goals, man. Whatever you think you can do, man, 10x it and set that goal. Because I promise you this: even if you don't hit the 10x goal, you're going to land way close to it. You're going to land out there in the middle somewhere you never would have landed had you not set that goal. So set big goals, big dreams, and it's going to help to pull you in the direction and get clear, concrete reasons as to why. This is why I want that. I want this amount of money. I want this, I want this particular experience. I want to be able to go to the Kentucky Derby. I want to be able to be a coach for my son's football team because I don't want to have to work. That's how come I want this much money. Whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've decided just about now at this point that I've seen my oldest son, who's a senior this year, be coached by someone who I don't believe understands the game of basketball. And I've decided that my youngest son, who's 2.5, big difference, I know, that I'm going to be a coach. And if that means I have to be a high school coach and I have to apply for that job, I'm a coach. I'm going to be a coach. That's what I've decided. You know why? Because I can't stand to sit in the stands another freaking game with coaches that don't know how to coach. They don't even have. They don't have a clue how to coach. They don't know how to lead children. They don't know how to lead kids. They don't understand the game of basketball. And by God, I may not be the best coach in the world, but I think I'll do it better than most. So that's one of my goals. That's one of the things that I want to accomplish. I want to be able to coach my son's team. If that means I got to be a coach and I got to apply for that job, then I'm gonna apply for it. But I'm gonna be a coach. So I don't care what it is your goals are, what it is you want to accomplish. Write it down, get clear on it. Why is it important to you? And that's going to help drive the rest of the things we're going to talk about. Get clear on that down the road goal. I'll show you how to filter this down and get clear on what we're going to do today. And we're going to focus on that on the webinar. But it's important. So environment. There's two kinds of people in the world. That's it. Growers and sleepwalkers. Half the people around you right now are sleepwalkers. They're walking around, no goals, no dreams. They're not growing. They ain't read a book in who knows how long. They're not going to pick up a book anytime soon. They're not growers. They're sleepwalkers. Growers are the people that are continuously growing. Every time you turn around, they learn something new. They've got a new trick, a new trade, but they're continuously growing. And that's who you want to spend your life with. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Jim Rohn. One of my favorite quotes. Couldn't be any more true of a statement. Who you spend your time with influences the person that you eventually become. If you know the person you need to become, it has to have certain qualities and has to have certain attributes about them, then are the people that you're spending your time with helping you become that person, or are they keeping you from becoming that person? This is a real tough question for most of us because we all have 1 or 2 people in our lives that we probably shouldn't be spending as much time with because they're not aligned to our goals and who we want to become. So, how is this going to really change and impact you? Because when you're around people that are going to hold you accountable and the subject matter that you engage in with those people that are goal-driven growers, you're not going to be talking about bitching about the coffee doesn't taste good, or about the market conditions, or the open house that didn't go too well. They're going to raise the conscious level that you operate in. Just from being around those people, better than. And let me tell you, I guarantee you probably know somebody like this. If you go to bitching, and I'm going to use the word bitching because that's what it is, just that, and I apologize if I hurt your ears. It's just a word. You can choose to get off the webinar now if you want to. But if bitching is what you're doing about your open house, and I've done this before, so I'm not saying that you shouldn't bitch from time to time, because sometimes you just got to get some shit off your chest. But you say you're bitching, complaining about the open house, and you know one person that you ain't going to do that in front of, because they don't want to hear it, and they're going to say something to you about it. That's the kind of people you want around you. You just change the way you act, you change the way you think, you change the level at which you operate at, because you're around that person. Those are the kind of people you want to be around. Now, these are people that are going to push back on your limiting beliefs. They're going to, they genuinely want to see you successful. They don't see you as a competitor. They want to help you. They want to see you get better. They want to see those results of you getting better. And they're willing to hold you accountable. That's the kind of people you want to spend your time around. You're going to want to write this down. Who are the top 5 people you spend the most time with? What are their top 3 qualities? And next to each one of those 5 people, put, do they match who you want to become in the future? Just put a yes or no next to it. The next thing you're going to write down is, what are the top 5 people in your life you have the most respect for, and what are the top 3 qualities that they represent? Okay. All right. So next, shape your life with intention by investing the time. Your time is the most valuable thing you have with the right people. The people that are growth mindset, growers, not sleepwalkers. We'll talk about strategy. We're going to talk much more specifically about strategy. That's really the essence of the webinar, the exponential growth strategy. But we're going to talk about it here. Strategy is a plan to bring about a desired future, such as an achievement of a goal or a solution to a problem, in the way of the most efficient and effective use of available resources. So what that basically means is it's real simple. Strategy is not complex at all. It's actually the most simple thing in the world. Is what's the easiest way to get the greatest result in the least amount of time, least amount of hassle and frustration? Effective and efficient. What's the lowest cost, highest return on investment, easiest thing to do? It's going to get the results the fastest. It's going to put money in the bank the quickest. That's what strategy is about. Aligned to the vision, the goal, where it is that you want to be 10 years from now. What's the thing that we can do that's going to get us there the fastest? It's all about doing the right things in the right order. You want to make your goals smart. So when we get to this portion of the webinar, we start talking about specific, measurable, attainable, relevant to your long-term vision, and time-bound. That's what a SMART goal is. Very specific. You can say, yes, we did this. No, we didn't do this. It has to be an attainable goal, okay? So this is your short-term goal, not your long-term. Your long-term goal, man, dream big, baby. Dream big. But your short-term, you want to be specific and measurable and attainable. It needs to be a realistic goal for the now. For the future, man, you don't even know how you're going to accomplish that goal. But for the next 90 days, man, we're going to set goals that we know that you could accomplish. If you do these things in this order, we can get here, okay? So don't set such far out goals that you can't accomplish them in that short time frame. Next, right things, right order. That's what it's all about. That's what strategy is. Doing the right things, right order. The better you get at strategically thinking about what you should be doing right now and doing the right things in the right order, the faster you're going to get success, the faster you're going to get results, the more you're going to stick with it, the easier it becomes to stick with it, the easier it becomes to put in more effort because you're getting more faster. That's what accelerates growth. It's what accelerates success. And it's the secrets to the exponential growth strategy that we'll talk about on the webinar. But that's the real clarity that when you have it, you can accomplish anything. So next, and I believe this is the last one actually, of the 6 that we're talking about, is productivity. The last part of the foundation, productivity. How do you get more out of what you're already doing, man? What do you have in common with the most successful people in the world? I can tell you. You all have 24 hours in a day. We all have 24 hours in a day. So what can you get what do you do to get the most out of that 24 hours? You can go on living your life every single day. You can be a sleepwalker. Just sleepwalk through the whole day. Don't have any goals. Don't have any dreams. Don't have any real urgency to get anything done. Or you can change all that and you can decide to be, I'm going to be the most productive person I can be. I'm going to get the most out of it every single day just because I want to become a better version of me. I want to teach my kids how to be better versions of themselves. And I want to set that example by not just living half-ass every day. Success is simply a few simple disciplines practiced daily. That's all it is. Success is simply a few simple disciplines practiced daily. You don't have to do 1,000 things. You have to do a few things 1,000 times better. That's it. So we're going to focus on what are those few things that you got to do and do them 1,000 times better than anybody else does them. So you practice those disciplines daily. Change something in your life. You got to change something you do daily. So create good habits, repeat them every day. Put thought and effort into doing the right things in the right order. Take time every single day to prepare to do the right things in the right order. Don't just get to work being busy, busy, busy. Don't just answer the phone. Don't just jump into your email. Have a plan. Look at the day, plan the day, do the right things in the right order. You're not going to get everything done, man. There's never going to be a day you get everything done that you want to get done. That's just not going to happen. So at least know that, man, when you leave the office at 5 o'clock, because that's when you go home, because you control your day now, hey, I got the right things done today. I got all the right things done. All the things that were important, I got done. I did the right things in the right order. If you do that, I promise you, you will accomplish 10x what you've ever accomplished in your business, and you'll grow and grow and grow because you're doing the right things in the right order. So managing yourself, if you want to be productive, the first thing you have to understand is you got to have sleep, man. Shoot, I used to try to work 14, 15, 18-hour days and sleep a little bit. Man, I can't do it these days. I could do it when I was younger, but I can't do it anymore, or I choose not to do it anymore. I wouldn't say I can't do anything. But, sleep 7, 8 hours a day. That's it. You got to have it. So you need to plan around that. Diet, nutrition. You got to eat the right things. You got to stay healthy. If you want to be successful in life, you need to hydrate. 64 to 72 ounces daily, and exercise every single day. These are things you got to focus on. Do the right thing. No more fast food. No more trying to stay up late and watching Netflix. None of that shit no more. You got to put an end to it, and you got to stay productive. If you want to be productive and get the most out of every day, you're going to have to sacrifice a few things. Focus on getting the results that you want. A couple things that I take a lot of supplements. One of them is Alpha Brain. You can get it at onnit.com, ONNIT.com. It helps with verbal memory, processing speed, peak alpha flow or state. So I take a couple of those every day. Fitbit, man, I got to tell you, this is one of the best things that I've seen in a long time in terms of accountability. As soon as you put this thing on, it never stops, man. It's measuring whether you're sleeping or not and hitting your goals. It's measuring whether you're hitting your step goal, your active, how active you are, how many floors you've climbed, how many miles you've gone today. You start to create different habits based on the way this thing is keeping track of everything. If you're sleeping good or not, man, it's awesome. I highly recommend it. This is the one that I have. There's a whole bunch of different versions, but knowing that the things that are important are sleep, nutrition, all that good stuff. This keeps track of everything. You put your food into it. It tells you what your intake is. It's going to help you be more fit. It's going to help you stay on track, and really, it helps you. It's the accountability partner to manage yourself. So that's that. For me, working out, here's the thing. Everybody, I get this all the time. Man, I ain't got time to work out, man. Shoot, I got to take my kids to school. Man, I can't do it. Just can't do it. Don't have time. So I have to tell you, this is my secret. For me, it's T25. I got a workshop out at the house. I live out in the country. I'm about 30 minutes from town here in Frisco, Texas, and 45 minutes, depending on what time I hit the road. So I'm up at 4:30 every morning. I do this workout. I'm usually done with my process in the morning by 6 o'clock and on the road by 6:30 after getting ready. It doesn't take me long to get ready, but I can go out there, throw in this DVD, 25 minutes, and I'm done. It's a hell of a workout. Highly recommend it. It works for me. Do whatever works for you. I don't care when you do it, but you got to do it. So, manage your mental energy. This is another piece of the morning for me is hopefully you've read this. If you haven't, this is a book that Hal Elrod, Michael Mayer, Michael Reese, and myself co-authored, The Miracle Morning for Real Estate Agents. It's your time to rise and shine. Great book. And in that book, we break down for you the savers. This is part of the morning. Part of that early morning is silence, which is meditation, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. I do my reading on Audible in the car on the way to the office. That's how I do it. You can do it however you want to do it. But those are the things that you want to do. You want to keep a journal. You want to exercise. You want to visualize success, visualize the day, visualize what you want to accomplish today. You want to say your daily affirmations every single day, and you want to have a little bit of peace and quiet for meditation. For me, I do that starting at 4:30. That's my day. I didn't used to be that way, but it's a habit I've created. It's helped me be more successful. I'm not saying you have to do that to be successful, but it will help you get there a lot faster. So here's a question that I want to leave you with before we get to the webinar that's coming up that you've already signed up for. Am I doing the daily disciplines that will take me where I want to go? Am I doing the daily disciplines that will take me where I want to go to become the person that I want to be? Am I doing it? And if you're not, my challenge for you is why not? Why are you not doing it? And if it's because you don't have big enough goals, then man, let's set some big goals. Let's set some goals that are worthy of accomplishing. You know what I'm saying? Let's do that. Let's get fired up about life. Let's get fired up about the opportunity. Look, real estate, you can make more money than you've ever made in any business, in any industry. It's amazing how much money you can make just selling real estate. And the opportunity is here, okay? It won't be here forever. The window is open for you to be successful in this business. Let's do the right things in the right order. Let's get fired up about it, and let's go accomplish our goals. So I want to give you this last little bit. There's only 2 or 3 more slides here I just want to cover with you. And this is a study that was done by Tom Corley, Rich Habits, the Daily Success Habits of Wealthy Individuals. Rich was determined income of $160,000 plus and a liquid net worth of $3.8 million plus. That's a lot of liquid net worth. Income poor was determined less than $35,000 and liquid net worth of less than $5,000. So less than $5,000 and any access to cash whatsoever is considered poor. 85% of rich people read 2 or more education, career-related, or self-improvement books per month, compared to only 15% of the poor. 94% of rich people read news publications, including newspapers, blogs, compared to 11% of the poor. 93% of wealthy people credited a mentor, books, or the School of Hard Knocks to their success. This is just who you have to become. You have to be a learner and a grower. You have to be studying and reading and learning and growing if you want to be successful in life. It's just that simple. There's no other way. You're either going to be a sleepwalker or a grower. You get to make the choice. It's up to you. But I'm telling you, you got to be a grower. And for me, it's Audible, man. That's the secret. That's the ticket. I'm going to give you 52 books that will change your life. I'm also going to give you a link to Audible where you can get 2 free books, 2 free downloads. I suggest it would be one of these from this next 2 lists. And I'm going to make sure you get a copy of this as well, because I know that there's no way you're going to be able to write them down. So don't even bother. We're just going to make sure you get a copy of these 52 books after the webinar, or you may already have them. So these are the top 26 personal development books every successful person should read. They're really not in any particular order. As I went through my library and just everything that I've read, these were the ones that I would pass on to you. Think and Grow Rich, Laws of Success, Outwitting the Devil, All Napoleon Hill, all must reads. How to Win Friends and Influence People, #1 book, first book I ever read. Compound Effect, the #1 book I gave my oldest son to read. Definitely a great book. As a Man Thinketh, another one I gave my kids. Power of Ambition, another one I gave my kids. All of these books are great books. I'm not going to go through each and every one of these individually. Time management ones, Eat That Frog, No BS Time Management. Business books on a different plane. These are more focused on leadership and growth and business and scaling your business and the E-Myth. All these are great books. So these are books you should all read if you're in business. If you're really focused on the personal side of personal development more, if you haven't been doing that, get through that stuff first and then get to this stuff, because it's fascinating what you'll learn. It's amazing how much you can learn from reading these books. So you go to naea.com/audible. You can download Audible app and get 2 free books on us. So just wanted to pass on that little freebie to you. If you don't have Audible and you're not listening to these books, man, you can fast forward them too, man. Speed them up. 1.5. You get it up to 1.5. You get to 2, and you better be really good at listening, because you're going to miss something. But you can speed it up, slow it down, however you want to do it. And you'd be amazed at how many books you can crush in a year with Audible. Audiobooks, that's how I read, because they don't, if they don't have pictures, I don't usually read them. So at any rate, I'm just kidding. But nonetheless, Audible's a great way to experience a lot of books and accomplish more in a shorter period of time. So that's it. That's the success principles: mindset, modeling success, big goals that matter, environment, who you spend your time around, strategy and productivity. And exponential growth strategy is next. So I wanted to get this done and share this with you, even though it took me twice to do it, twice as long to do it. I think it's better this time than it was the first time. You'll never know, but I can say that. Congratulations on taking action. Okay, you're seeking, you're growing, you're looking to get better. You wouldn't be here. So looking forward to taking you through a step-by-step how we've helped agents just like you, exponentially grow, accelerate growth, double and then double and double again in their business. And looking forward to seeing you on the webinar, and looking forward to getting to know you and help you accomplish your goals. And we'll see you then. Obviously, you probably got an email from us that states what time the webinar is, and we will see you at that time. Don't be late. Make sure it's in your calendar. It's not something you want to miss. It's going to be great content we've never shared before, so I'm looking forward to it. Thanks.